You mentioned that midlife crisis,
Yes.
specifically for men. Um, I want to talk about that a little more. So,
Sure.
is it how I don't know how best to say this or ask this question. Um, is the cheating happening because they've not necessarily anything that their wife is doing, unhappiness, but just they're at that age and or stage in their life where they feel like, am I losing my
Mojo.
whatever it is? You know what
That's
I
it.
mean? Like I feel like I'm not trying to cheat or whatever, or I'm not in these streets no more, but you get to a certain point in your life where you start to ask yourself, do I still have it? You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
people aren't looking at me like they used to look at me when I was younger. You know what I mean? I'm not turning heads like I used. You know what I mean? Like that
Right. Yes.
thing. So, is it a lot of acting out in that regards? Like, let me see if I could still pull. Let me see if I got it. I don't know.
No, you're actually right on cue with that. Okay, so one of the things, and as we talked about, like I said, we particularly, like I said, black men at the highest level of at least admitting to cheating. But when you talk about trying to, like we said, find out, do I still have it or what have you, right? One of the things that they found out, through this whole ideal is that, and it's a very interesting quote. I want to kind of make sure I get it right. Is that men, when they asked about cheating, right, is that they said that I'm not cheating because of what we have become, meaning we as the relationship, that we're currently in. I'm not cheating for that. I'm cheating because I'm unhappy about who I have become. So what men would is really interesting, right? So they don't like this idea of who they have become over time, right? Maybe in a marriage relationship or a committed relationship, whatever. Because in life, primarily male, what I would say is our development is based off, some form of scoring, keeping score, right? Whether it be sports, whether it be a job or what have you.
Hmm.
So it's that whole idea, right? And so men would say, man, I just hate what I have become. So this idea of this mid-age crisis is really real because it's a time where you have a little bit more time to self-reflect because maybe the kids don't need as much attention. They're older or either, grown, what have you, right? So you're reflecting on who you are, who you become, and you don't like what you see. And so with me and just the information that I researched has said that that was the biggest contributor to actually cheating, right? So they're trying to refine or redefine themselves in this middle age. Who am I now? As you mentioned, who's attracted to you, right? And they said that there's no greater feeling. It was another quote than being that men see themselves through the eyes of other people, right? And that there's no better sense of being able to look at yourself through someone else's eyes who views you as hot. And that was
Mm.
like a direct quote from one of the books that I was reading on this whole idea, right? And so as you get into this ideal of, why men cheat, it's a identity situation. And so I'm going through the situation. I may see it slipping away. What I mean by it is, my whatever it is I had in my 20s, my 30s, 40s, it's slipping away. I don't see this thing. Like, as you mentioned, maybe the compliments are not as forthcoming, right? Or maybe I don't even go into those places where that may even happen. Right? So yeah, this ideal of, I need to be able to redefine myself um, leads to looking at finding someone else who can give you that validation, for lack of a better word. That was really interesting. Because it wasn't just a sexual thing, although that was really important. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that. But it was this ideal of who am I at this stage in my life?